What's going on, everyone? I am back with another video in my junk journal series. So I have these jot file folders here. Now this is the legal size, and I figured I could get about 3 of these Matchbook little journals inside of my junk journal. So I seen on Treasure Book's channel where she had did this, and so all I'm doing is emulating what she created. So I just went to my stash and I picked up, and this is what I had, the legal size. And so glad I had the legal size, because I think I can, as you can see, I've gotten 3 out of this. I believe you can probably, of course, get 2 out of the regular size, depending on what sizes that you're doing. So as you can see here, all I did was just trim these down. I've got 2 that are about, what was that, like 4.5, and then this one was maybe 5.5. And then I didn't do any more trimming. I just went with whatever. You can adjust accordingly, but this is just how I'm just showing you how I did it. This was just my method. So once I got them all cut into 3s, I took my little Fiskars, the finer trimmer. This one has a wire guide there, and so all I'm doing is just cutting off the end of the file folder. I'm not going to utilize that, and so it kind of just gave me a hint of where, you can see I trimmed off the edge there, kind of giving me a hint of where to start as far as getting ready to fold up into the matchbook, and then just trimming off the other excess of the other side. And so I'm just using that wire guide to help me cut that off, and then I'll go from there as far as getting the rest of my project going. So I know that I'm gonna flip it up, and I figure I need about a 1.5 inch or so. No more than 1 inch that I'm gonna utilize as far as the lip. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out a scoreboard and just kind of feel my way down, so I'll know where the guide is to fold up. And the next thing I did was folded that up and then folded this over. And so then I tried to trim accordingly. So I know I needed a little lip. Now here's the thing. I went on and cut it off and made my lip, but once you use the brads at the bottom, you'll have to adjust again. So this part really didn't matter, but I wanted to go ahead and show this because, and then show how I just cut a little bit at a time. As you can see here, I cut a little bit at a time, and then you can readjust, because I did cut one a little bit too much, a lot too much. I just got cut happy, and I'll show how what I did with that. So now I'm going to get my ink out and go ahead and ink out the sides. It just adds a little bit to it. So I'm going to go ahead and start inking the edges. And then I'm going to pull out my scoreboard. I'm sorry. Then I'm going to pull out my little pad here and punch my holes. And so I just have a little ruler guide that I just tried to line up. I mean, it's not perfect, but I just kind of eyeballed it, just trying to get a straight edge, and then made 3 holes at the bottom. And you can see that's somewhat lined up, and then I went on and got out my brads. So I had these big brads that I've been wanting to use for something. This project that I'm using, they're kind of thick to go in there to slide into a pocket, so it wouldn't be best for what I'm utilizing for, but this is great ephemera for another project. So, and then I have my two others that I'm utilizing, and one of them I will be able to use for this project. So as you can see here, what I was saying about cutting too much, or cutting once you get the brads in, then you'll know for sure how you'll have to readjust. So I went on and pulled out my trimmer a little bit off the edge, out of frame, and went on and cut off a little bit more. And you want to cut a little bit at a time, and then you'll be sure to have the right amount. So I just wanted to show this book I picked up 25 cents, 50 cents a while back, a long time ago, and I got it from a thrift store. And this is perfect for projects like this. So in the Treasure Books video, she used the sheet music, and this is great for this because I've had this long to use for projects like this. So all I did was just glue that down on those sheets just like she did, and then ink the edges as far as I can. And then I also used the book pages and tore and inked the edges on those also. And then I used some stickers from that little Amazon pack, and then I have those ready to go. And then I got 3 out of that. And then utilizing the middle of my Matchbook booklet, all I did was take some copy paper and trim that. Here's the trim that I used for the mistake that I cut, and I said that I cut a little bit too much out of one of the booklets. I got a little happy, so all I did was use that trim, and I'm going to show you in a minute. And then here, all I'm going to do is use my long reach stapler. Now you can sew these in, sew the signatures in, but I did purchase a long reach stapler. And for smaller projects like this, this is the perfect to use this. So all I'm going to do is turn it over so the staples can poke out in the inside of it. And then I'm going to take 3 staples and staple along the inside of it. And then fold it over in the middle. That way the staples will be in the middle. And then all I'm going to do is use some score tape and glue that in my booklet. Now you can glue it like the Matchbook way, but even though it's open in that way, I decided I want to use it like a regular book, so I'm going to glue mine to the side because that's just the way that I prefer. So, and then I'm going to go ahead and staple the rest of these the same way. Flip it over and have my staples in the middle. And so the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and take the score tape, as I was saying, and I scored all my booklets down, and then showing you how the rest of them came out using the trim on the one that I cut a little bit too short. I can just use the trim of the butterfly and tuck those in. And then this one is the one that I ended up using. And all I'm going to do is slide that right into my journal. I thought that the brads on this one were nice and flat. And then the neutral palette on there just kind of goes with my current journal that I'm working on. And I think it turned out lovely. So if you like this, please give me a thumbs up. And thanks for watching, and see you later, Craftinistas.